For the past 2 years, the internet has been fighting an underground holy war. In a turn of geopolitical events no one saw coming, YouTube's best and brightest flung themselves into a centuries-long battle that most of them were absolutely not equipped to handle. To truly understand why research experts, such as British supremacist influencer Chris Kunzler,
Chris, respectfully.
could become entangled in commentary by Singaporean SpongeBob fish turned brown guy, Pegasus.
Welcome back to a series so volcanic, even Typhlosion subscribed in today's video.
We need to go back in time, and I just want to note here that although there's nowhere on the internet to support Chris's last name being Cumgluz, he sure gluzzes a bunch of cum, which I think is,
interesting.
So today I want to be talking to you about the whitest British man alive, Chris Kunzler. And I can say that because I'm half white. And based on my limited knowledge of Chris and his interview with Quam, check out my last video on how she single-handedly freed Gaza here, I find it hard to believe he's concerned about Palestinian existence at all, as I mostly saw Chris spew anti-Semitic tropes under the guise of, well, I actually just think it's fun for him. So I decided to dig into his limited presence. Now, before I give my thoughts and opinions, I think it's essential to note that Chris is British, and I can say that because I'm half British. Why is this important? I'll try to keep the next part as short as possible.
That you have to appreciate that many people in American and British society enjoy the killing of people that they deem as others.
After World War I, Britain started babysitting the most contentious site on the planet. Anyways, it didn't go well. I just wanted to remind ourselves that Britain has also committed its fair amount of war crimes and atrocities. God forbid the world ever chant for Britain's destruction, because that would just be, I don't know, kind of crazy. I just want to iterate, criticizing the state of Israel is not in and of itself anti-Semitic. And I don't think that all pro-Palestine creators are anti-Semitic. However, I'm just gonna let Chris's content speak for itself. Chris's first tweet was on December 10th, 2024, in which he commented on the UK's relationship with the United Arab Emirates and its hands in the genocide happening in Sudan, but also, for some reason, Israel. And that is something you'll notice about his content. Even though I think it's a really important thing that people do talk about the genocide that's been happening in Sudan since 2003, in which 300,000 people have been slaughtered, it's just not realistic to blame Israel for absolutely everything wrong in your life, Chris. I know that you pooped your pants, but also not Israel. So anyways, I found his public LinkedIn page, which details his skills in German and Farsi, as well as his degrees from Exeter University in Near and Middle Eastern Studies. Now, there could only be one reason for this LinkedIn page, because also it has 0 other details. And that's to try and bolster his credentials for when people come running to claim he has no idea what he's actually talking about, in my opinion. But it's clear from watching Chris's content that he does have a fair bit of knowledge regarding certain geopolitical events in the Middle East. However, Chris hasn't really tried to hide the comparison that he makes between Jewish people and Nazis. He's also quick to discredit anti-Semitic events.
I am so tired of fake anti-Semitism scandals in the UK.
And he consistently dehumanizes and vilifies Israelis at all costs. This and his association with Gatto Fumador, who will go as far as to say that random Zionists are out trying to snatch up random kids. See, when your whole brand is, hey, look at me, I absolutely don't hate other groups of people in it, you kind of need to be looked into, okay? You're compensating for something. The more I watch this guy, the more he reminds me of somebody else.
Since October the 7th, the number of people in the West who understand what Israel actually is has increased. And this is a major
try to make
problem.
the rest of the world believe that the new national consciousness of the Jews will be satisfied by the establishment of a Jewish state in Palestine. The Jews thereby adopt another means to dupe the simple-minded gentle. They have not the slightest intention of building up a Jewish state in Palestine so as to live in it. What they really are aiming at is to establish a central organization for their international swindling and cheating. As a sovereign state, this cannot be controlled by any of the other states. Therefore, it can serve as a refuge for swindlers who have been found out, and at the same time, a high school for the training of other swindlers.
And for if some reason you're like a really big Chris Kunzler fan, and you're angry that I made that comparison between him and the man with the mustache, you can go to my channel, you can click on more, and just read this out loud to yourself a little bit. Okay, we're peace and love here. We're peace and love. And it's actually projection if you are comparing Chris to that man with the mustache. Okay, that is your own internal battle. I'll let you deal with that. I was actually referring to this beautiful man. That's right, Hasan H. Christ.
This is so insane. America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Now, recently, Hasan has been spiraling ever more into oblivion after recent clips of him resurfaced.
Can you shut the fuck up when it comes to black folks? You really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock.
As Vietnamese refugee, we have endured suffering under the communist regime, and we believe that...
Okay, fuck you, dude. I mean, seriously, fuck you, old lady. Shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking idiotic old lady with your stupid fucking gamer headset. Who has fucked you harder, America or fucking Ho Chi Minh? Suck my dick, old lady. God damn, dude. Yo, fuck this refugee, okay?
This may be a surprise to you, but Hasan has been long touted on the left as, let me read off of this shirt, okay. Someone who's against racism, bigotry, white supremacy, inequality, oppression, and when I first read this, I thought it said into France, but just imagine you feel compelled to wear this shirt. Just in case, you know, people thought you were pro all of these things, you bought a shirt to say that you weren't. And just to go back to Chris for a second, imagine feeling so guilty as a white British person that you have to dedicate your entire career to proving you're not one of those white British people. And the irony here, in my opinion, is that is what Chris is trying to make Ethan Klein do. Chris wants Ethan's entire career to be proving upwards, downwards, leftwards, rightwards, diagonally waywards, that he isn't one of those Jews, and that Hila isn't one of those Israelis.
It's not speaking out enough. It is not.
So now, you see, that's what they do to me. They keep changing stuff. So when she called us, it was like, Ethan kept asking, do you agree she didn't say that? And she said yes. Now, the problem is I didn't speak out enough.
If you didn't already know, Hasan and Ethan of H3H3 used to host a political podcast called Leftovers, where the two of them would comment on political news. This was a beloved podcast where the two unlikely podcasters came together and talked as if they were good friends.
Very selfish of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's wonderful. You have a child.
However, the aftermath of October 7th proved too much for this pair, and they ended the show shortly after. I was never a Leftovers viewer, but I vaguely remember the following happening shortly after October 7th.
I think Israel shutting off water, power, and food to Gaza is insane. It doesn't even make sense. I've seen videos, you know, I saw videos of Palestinian dads holding his dead, like, 5-year-old daughter. I mean, and there was another one that, like, as a father, it's even hard to talk about. This dude was holding his infant. It was like a year old. And he was like patting her on the back and saying like his final goodbye. I mean, it was, he's holding her like she's alive, like he's just burping her or something. I didn't expect to get emotional about that, but like, I'm a new dad and that shit really fucks me up. And I hate to see it. It's not right.
It's pretty clear to me that Ethan has publicly spoken out against the actions of Netanyahu and the Israeli government, and very quickly after October 7th. Meanwhile, this is what I remember from Hasan. So when looking for this footage of Hasan and his reaction, I found this article, and it's basically glazing up Hasan saying, YouTube star Hasan tears over Israel-Palestine footage. It's really fucked up. And it says he's so brave, and look, he's being so brave by crying.
Sorry. This is really fucked up. They went to her funeral and beat the shit out of people and ripped the Palestinian flag off of her.
The reason why I show you those clips together is, one, so that you can see the positive media reaction that most outlets will give Hasan if given the chance. Meanwhile, Ethan, somebody that is not only calling out the actions of Israel Netanyahu, he's actually naming the specific actions.
And they're hellbent on genocide, frankly, overtly. They've committed tons of war crimes in Gaza, including the killing of children, obviously, because Gaza is one of the most densely populated places in the world. 50% of the residents are under 18, so when you bomb a building, the chances that you're killing children is pretty much 100%.
And referring to past comments that he's made about the issue. Meanwhile, Hasan, who is also talking about a serious subject, it seems to me that, yes, he does mention that the IDF were wrongfully beating some people up, but his main contention is that they tore the Palestinian flag. And I'm not saying his tears aren't real, but Ethan is reacting to something that he is relaying to his actual personal life. Meanwhile, I don't buy Hasan's tears as much. What you just saw in the last chapter was the beginning of the underground internet holy war. We witnessed in real time two famous YouTube podcasters open a centuries-old conflict that would soon escalate into an explosive internet feud that continues to this day. I'm going to admit something really embarrassing here. I was never an H3H3 fan, but I was someone who watched a lot of Hasan VODs. And in my defense, I was new to Hasan and I didn't know the entirety of everything that he's ever said.
After enduring sexual violence, the deadliest day for the Jewish people.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
A lot has transpired since I first started paying attention to politics on YouTube, and the biggest being the fallout of Ethan and Hasan. Since the breakdown of the Leftovers podcast, I started seeing more and more snark about Ethan and Hila, culminating in the tipping point where they had CPS called on them.
This morning we got a visit from Child Protective Services.
I just want to stress how much I wasn't a fan of H3H3. I wasn't a fan of Ethan's humor, and I didn't really care about the topics they were often covering. But I did become invested in the show after seeing all the flack they were getting. I still don't watch a majority of their content, but I do stay up to date with everything involving Hasan and iDubbbz and Anissa and Denims, and honestly, the latest greatest drama regarding this whole thing, Madison Harnish, aka Mother to Researcher of Cruel World Happy Mind, which is why I'm even talking about Chris Kunzler to begin with. To summarize, Chris Cumgluz is actually really, really, really boring, and I couldn't make it through a single 3-hour video that he has. It was just boring. It was just boring. But Chris's obsession with Ethan Klein helps illustrate the bigger question. Since October 7th, why has everyone turned on Ethan Klein? It's hard to look at this situation and how outspoken Ethan has been about Israel and its actions in Gaza and think that Ethan being Jewish just has nothing to do with it. The problem with creators like Chris Kunzler isn't that he's pro-Palestine, it's that he dodges Ethan and Hila's beliefs about Israel and Netanyahu and says the most outrageous baloney that slides right into anti-Semitism like butter. That's why I plan on continuing my deep dive into the underground internet holy war. I really hope you liked this. If you did, please like and subscribe to me. My last video, I am baffled. When I posted it, I got like 20 views and I was so excited. And I was like, dude, I got 21 views and I'm just like over the moon. And I was celebrating that. And then this morning I woke up and suddenly I have, like 700 views on it. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the positive feedback. And I'll link some other videos about the Madison Harnish thing in my comments because there are other content creators who also just did a more entertaining and delightful job. Anyways, I hope to never see you again, and I'm tired. Bye.
But you're more of a mantis than you are a man. Bow, motherfuckers, I'm your highness. I'm a fine sis, and I strike like a mantis. I strike like a mantis. I strike like a mantis.